This is The Legend. 105.3, 95.3, WDXE.
And it's time for Stanley and Harvest Financial. How are you, buddy?
Good morning.
Let me turn your mic on. We got to do that.
Good morning.
There you are. There you are.
The Harvest Financial Hour.
It's been a whole week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Been a whole week, buddy.
And it's a lot of water fell out of the sky between last week and today.
Yeah, we did have some rain and even some flooding in some areas, but man, sunshine today.
Yeah, we got a couple. Hopefully, we got a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. We were at the. I know you're a big local sports fan and keep up with all that, and we were at the ballpark last night. Daniel had a ball game, and they had games going on at Tom Cruise Field and at Denver Trap Field. So we were on the Denver Trap side.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth ball. And they're covered on X Sports too. You can watch the games.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. And we like that because we can go back and watch, you know. And so I was on to Daniel last night. He made some good plays, but he also made some bonehead plays. I don't think I could tolerate. The coaches are very patient. You know, I was ready to jump up and down and scream at the boys last night. I'm like, why is the coach not reaming them out? You know, I held my peace.
Well,
but back in my day, my wife, you know, I tell her, you know, when I was a kid playing ball, it wasn't uncommon for the coach to chew you out. You know.
Oh yeah.
Light a fire under you, get you going.
Right.
And you don't see much of that anymore.
Well, I think you know.
At least I haven't. And I think it's needed every once in a while.
It is, and that was, you know, I've covered sports for 15 years, and I've seen,
Yeah.
I've covered boys and girls sports both, and this is the discussion I've had with some coaches about, is it different coaching boys versus girls?
Yeah.
Because with boys you can get them mad and get them, like you said, put a fire under them a
kind
little
of light
bit.
a fire under them a little bit.
And they'll come right back at you and start performing better and,
Yeah.
and start concentrating and so
Yeah.
forth. And sometimes with girls, they take up for each other, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And if you get on one teammate really hard, some of the other girls may not like that so much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's an interesting dynamics. But going, you know, coaching is very hard. And
Yeah, my hat's off to the guys that volunteer to do it.
right,
you know, and
they're
all
taking
that.
their free time
That's
to
right.
do it. They're probably working somewhere, and
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and you know, they got a kid playing, and they want to be a part of their kid's life, and
Yeah.
but you've got other dynamics there when you got other kids and other parents going on.
Yeah.
So, but it's all, you know, you got to figure out the individual personalities too.
That's true.
Because some girls you can get on and they'll come right back at you.
Yeah.
I've seen that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, the key is to motivate them to play well.
Right.
Motivate them to play well.
To play their
somehow.
best at their give 100%.
Yeah. Give it a good
I mean,
go. And that's the only thing I ever find myself getting aggravated maybe at Dan about is sometimes I don't feel like he makes the effort that he could.
Yeah.
You know.
As a parent, you know that he's got more in him than that.
So it's like, come on, son, you know. And I'll give you a little. My grandson Shepherd, he's quite a little ball player. He's 8 years old, and he is very good for an 8-year-old. And but he lives, eats, and breathes ball. He don't ever quit. And there was something going on. We were at a ball game, and I said something or made some comment or something, and he said to me, "Papa, get your head in the game."
Where's he heard that before? You know, Babe Ruth
Get your head in
baseball.
the game.
When we were down on this WDXE, when Jack called me one day and said, "Hey, we got to do a Babe Ruth game because Ron Fisher's going out and sow sponsorships for Babe Ruth." And I go, "Babe Ruth," because we were only doing back then in baseball, we were only doing the district games for the high school.
Yeah, yeah.
And like 2 games a week. I mean,
Yeah.
but sometimes they could play 4 or 5 games in a week.
Right.
It's just hard to find people to cover them. So anyway, he said, "Yeah, we got to do a Babe Ruth game." I said, "Oh, okay." I said no for like 4 or 5 times, and I finally gave in. So I go to this game, a Babe Ruth game, and get on the radio, and next thing I know, it's 15-0 in the third inning. It's a very boring game. I'm like, man, we should have at least got the two best teams to play each other. But bless their heart, the losing team.
Yeah, that and our little team has lost badly, but maybe they'll shape up. So we'll see.
It's a little different when you're watching them on video.
Yeah.
Than trying to listen to them on the radio.
Oh yeah,
and Jack used to tell me, now if the score gets a little lopsided, don't tell the score so much because we'll lose listeners. It's like if we're getting if
we're strategizing.
If in a football game it's 48-0, don't say anything for a little while.
Don't tell the score.
Don't tell the score.
Oh my gosh, and you have people waiting on the score. That's right. All right, well, good deal. Well, of course, you're here in getting started with the Harvest Financial Services.
Yeah, we're good. Yep. Getting closer to my office. We'll figure that out here.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
I was. You got anything on the agenda or anything you'd like to?
Well, I was just going to talk about the big news in Lawrence County.
What's that?
The Crockett Restaurant closing down.
Oh yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah,
a lot of good things have happened out there.
The Crockett restaurant closing, and of course they closed the pool down.
Yeah.
And somebody, I don't know if it's true or not. They got the amphitheater back there, and I don't know if they're going to do anything with it or not. There's a redoing in the works. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't. Maybe.
Well, they got those cabins. They just put those up about 10 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm, yeah, they've been fairly successful.
10 or 15. It's probably 15 years ago now.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I think they've been fairly successful with those as far as people staying there. So, but the Crockett Restaurant's been it's pretty unique that we have a state park right inside the city limits. Anyway,
yeah,
pretty nice.
I think what year they opened, 60 or 61, something like that.
Yeah.
So they've been around them.
Have you ever fished in the lake out there?
No.
Never fished in it?
Lindsay Lake.
Many years ago, Teresa and I went fishing out there, and I never will forget this. She caught, I think, the biggest bluegill I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I haven't seen one any bigger. We might have even checked to see if that was a record, because it was a monster bluegill. It was big as a doggone. It would take up the whole skillet.
Wow, that is a big one.
A cornbread skillet. It was a big dude.
Because usually you give about 2 or 3 in one skillet.
It was like a plate. It was big as a plate. And pretty.
They're good eating if you know how to cook them.
Yes, they are. They're really good.
Yeah, but they're hard. They're so small.
They're just small, mostly
hard to clean, and
they're called a panfish, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know why I told that, but just that lake out there has been out there. And
it's
the last time I was out there, though, they had it drained down or something, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
it may be back up now. It probably is.
I grew up in Florence, and my mom and dad are from Lawrence County down here. And we used to come up here to go eat with their friends, and we'd always go to the restaurant, and usually it'd be a Friday night, and it's catfish night.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of catfish out there.
Catfish has been one of those things that's been people travel for years.
Yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, my mom and dad would want to go out to a restaurant and eat catfish. That was just a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And
catfish and barbecue. That's what we're known for in the South down here.
And I'm not so much of I can eat catfish, but I don't chase it. I'm not a big catfish fan. In fact, I'm not much on eating fish, period. We do have, there he is.
Oh my goodness.
There he is.
Long lost soul comes into the door.
I wondered if you'd make it in today.
Well, there's some things that are better left unsaid, I guess, is why I'm late.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll leave you alone about that.
Well, you were not here last week because you were.
I was out of town, wasn't I?
No, you was up at Murray Regional.
Oh, yeah, I had to go to the doctor's appointment last week. That's right.
Yeah.
How was your experience up there?
It was not crowded at all. I liked it. They got me in and out.
Brand new building.
It smelled good, smelled new.
Oh, that's the new place up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a new car.
That's nice. I haven't been in it yet. I have not been up there, but I bet it's nice.
It was the first floor. I walked in, had no idea where I was going. The lady says, what kind of procedure you having done? I told her, and she said, oh, you go in that room right there. It's like, okay.
All right. There you go.
So there you go.
Well,
Good deal. Glad to have you back.
you know, the facelift looks pretty good on you.
It does, yeah. Thank you.
Or did you get Botox? I don't know.
Yeah. I messed up. This morning, I'll tell you why I was late.
Uh-oh.
So fixing my hair is one of the last thing I do, So I put my T-shirt on, I put my shirt on so I don't mess my hair up. So fixing my hair is one of the last things I do. And I know you guys have never done this.
Uh-huh.
But, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to get down there and be with you guys this morning. When I can, I like to do that, So I'm running through the bathroom, and the way that I fix my hair is I spray hairspray on my hair, then I'm combing to the side, how much ever that'll do that,
Yeah.
So it sticks when you comb it. Well, I put deodorant in my hair this morning. So, and they're sitting right next to each
I don't
other.
know if I told that one.
That's what I said. I said, I don't know if I should even tell this. So there's a certain amount of disrobing that has to go on to wash your hair again, and then, so.
That I don't know if I should tell this, but it kind of reminds me of a thing I saw where the fellow said he thought they were just little wet wipes, but it turned out to be Clorox wipes.
Oh, no. That could be dangerous.
So anyway, it is 8:20, and we are with Stanley Wilson and Keith Durham, and of course Stanley's hour is here because we talk about finances and financial planning and all
Yeah.
that. But anything else as far as that goes?
Oh, I'm just still on my community stuff.
You're
here.
still on your community, all right?
We got a call.
Well, you know what? I know we have at least one caller who will want to ask some questions, and usually does.
Maybe
How are
somebody
you?
put deodorant in.
This keeps recurring, and I've had a recent experience with a financial advisor, but not about this. But there was a call in the other day. It's American Family Radio, and it's called Asset Rich, Cash Poor. And literally, the people had $500,000 in real estate, but only $800 in savings.
Uh-huh.
Talked to someone last night that has a trust that kept their real estate outside the trust and already signed it over to the kids and things. They're grown kids, like in their 60s. Get my age, everybody's kids. But they're in a similar situation. Parents down to Social Security, but have two houses paid for, a lot of money, which another issue of asset. And I'm beginning to notice this more and more. And I was just wondering, does he do that kind of counseling to prevent stuff like that, or does he just refer people like to an accountant, or a CPA, to a lawyer, or does he let them, sometimes people are very private, sharing exactly how much money, but like if somebody came to him and said, okay, I have 10% in cash, but I have 90% in real estate, how would he go about talking to them just in general about stuff like that before they got to the point that they might want to expose exactly what they have?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Peggy. That's interesting.
Well,
to have be asset rich but cash poor.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that. You see, especially farmers. Farmland is very valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're working their farm and getting income off of it, whether
Sure.
they're growing crops or cattle or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And but there's a lot of times that they get older and they can't physically do the work anymore, and now they're having to, they quit farming, but they rent out their land, so they're drawing an income off of that. So asset rich, to me, that sounds like, you've got a chunk of money there. How can you make income off of it?
Right.
And so to answer her question, I mean, again, everything is relative to each individual.
Sure.
So, if they need more income, if they only got $800 in savings, they definitely need more savings.
Right.
Now, as far as me referring, I refer CPAs for tax questions because I'm not a CPA, and I refer attorneys like Mr. Pachowski the legal questions.
Sure.
But having a trust, and she said the real estate wasn't in the trust, but a lot of times that's the first thing that goes in a trust.
Yeah, that's true.
But it depends on what the land is, if it's farmland or if it's just woods with timber on it. If they need more money, what can they do with the land to get the more money out of it? And that's
Yeah.
again, it goes all down to the individual. I think I understand her question.
Well, that made me think of this.
Apologize if I don't.
That made me think of this, and you may have some insight or experience. I mean, we may have talked about this. I don't think we have, but you hear about these reverse mortgages for people.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I understand them really because I never looked in them. It wasn't anything that really interested me, as far as what I've heard so far. But they are seemingly becoming popular.
Yeah, because people, all of a sudden, they've got all this real estate paid for.
Yeah.
Their home, and but their income is low because their Social Security is low, and was able to save outside of that. Let's say they were self-employed or whatever.
Sure.
If they don't, I mean, the deal is you're switching over your assets, your house, to the lender, and the lender's going to let you live there while you're still alive.
Yes.
But when the second death happens, between the two people, and of course, a single person, can do this too. But when that person dies, then that property goes back to the lender to pay off the loan that they've got, the money they've got coming in.
Is it?
But now, when they first came out with these, they weren't that great. But the government has changed the rules on them, and I can't recall exactly what the rules were. You know more about this with mortgages, but it could be a right a right technique, I should say, or strategy to do for somebody that maybe doesn't have kids, doesn't want to leave the property to anybody.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't have anybody to leave the house to, but they need more money coming in now, today. So that could create an income for you.
Now, it seems to me that it's similar or kind of the same as selling your property over time.
Yes, but it's kind of like selling it early.
Yeah, you're selling your property and receiving monthly income from selling your property to the bank or entity or whatever does this.
Yeah.
And they just make you payments on it.
Yeah, they pay you for it.
And so I would assume that
and allow you to still live there.
Now I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked into it, but I would assume that Keith, they'd do an appraisal on the property, I guess.
Oh yeah.
They'd do an appraisal, and then they'd base what they're going to give you monthly based on that appraisal.
Right.
And it would almost be like you're selling it would be. You're selling your property, and then taking a monthly income on it.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, once the second death happens, then they basically have bought the property.
Yeah, it goes back to the lender. And they turn around and sell it and get their money back.
But I guess the selling point and the advantage is if you need the income and you've got that asset.
Yeah. And you don't have anybody.
It's not producing anything.
Yeah, you don't have anybody that you want to leave the asset to.
Right. Okay. All right.
And there's some people like that. There's a lot of people that's got kids, and a lot of these are for a mortgage broker to talk about. You can get in touch with a mortgage broker and find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Mr. Perchowski, you can ask him Friday morning when he comes in here about the trust.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Well, you said you had some more community stuff you wanted to cover.
Oh well,
and I'll tell you one that we can cover. Is they're doing they're doing highway work west of town.
Yeah, I know. I live out there,
and it takes forever to get.
I know.
And they decided to do all the lanes at once.
Yeah, I was working at my office.
Why not?
Well, just do them all at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
They were backed up. They were backed up all the way to for the bridge. What is that? Crowson Creek right there.
Yeah.
Right there in front of the country club.
Yeah. Are they?
And they were backed up all the way to West Point Road, just about.
Or Keith, are they going to repave? Is that what they're going to do?
I hope they do.
They're going to
Yeah, I
repave
think
it
so.
all.
Yeah, they're milling.
They're
the
scraping
pavement.
it down, I
Yeah.
guess. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the conversation that we had. What they're doing is Buffalo Road is State Route 242, and 242 is also West Point Road. So as it traverses through town, it comes down to the intersection of West Gaines and Buffalo Road and goes out past the park and then down West Point Road. That's State Route 242. So the piece of property that you and I were talking about is not a state route anymore. That's in front of the old Herb's Corner building there.
Yes.
So
It's not.
it is not a state route anymore.
Which
And it's never been part of 242, but it used to be State Route I don't forgot what US 64 used to be, State Route 6.
I don't
or
think
something like that.
I don't think I knew that Buffalo Road and West Point Road were
The same road.
the
yeah.
same road.
I didn't know that
They're
either.
the same state route. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's interesting.
But you're saying that it's changed?
No, whenever the bypass came in, US 64 moved to the bypass.
Oh, okay.
So the old road downtown from Buffalo Road all the way to Brass Lantern is a city street now.
Well, that was what the discussion was when we had like a snowfall or ice
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
in.
It didn't get cleaned because it's
Yeah.
not a state
Because
road.
it's not, the state's not responsible for
That's
that
correct.
anymore, so the city is now.
Yeah, it's a city road now.
Well, not only do they have the old highway 64 west going through town and out to the West Point Road under construction, they also have the bypass out there under construction.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, you get out on the bypass out west of town, and going around town, they're working on it too.
What are they doing there?
Well, I don't really know, except they've got cones in the middle of the aisle, in the middle lane, in the middle of your two lanes, for miles. And what I seen them doing was taking the little machine and popping up those little glow blocks that are in the middle. So I'm assuming they're about to repave it too.
Wow.
Well, we've had the bypass, what, 15, 20 years? Has it been that long?
It's been a while. Yeah, I would say it's been that long. Yeah.
So but they're working on both of them. So because here's the reason I know I was going to avoid where we're talking about on going out west of town. So I went down below the hospital to go home,
Yeah.
and my
got
dog,
into
they're
it.
doing it too.
So you're going to have to go all the way up to Flatwoods and cut across and
Y'all
go
have
through
to
Valley
go.
Road.
Y'all have to go out to.
You got to go to Summertown and come back down
That's
the
right.
turnpike.
That's exactly right.
So there's that. There's that.
Or
Or
you
you-
can just be patient and wait in line with everybody else.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. Was there like a big traffic jam out there?
it wasn't bad. I, you know,
It cleared out in a few minutes. I sit there and watched it from my office the other day.
You got to admire those guys that have to do that. I mean, the road guys and the guys that stand out in the heat and try to direct the traffic and keep from getting hit. Be careful out there. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
I agree.
I really try to make sure that when I come up on road construction and the workers to be aware that those guys, are in harm's way. Really.
Yeah.
You need to be careful going around that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of accidents because people just
Yeah, I mean, don't slow down and don't,
not paying attention, number one.
yeah.
Well, that's
Slow down with those construction sites, man. Those guys.
So are they doing any work on West Point Road, or did it stop at the red light there?
no, I don't think they're working on West.
Not
Because it
well on
looks
West
pretty
Point.
good. I went down there
Yeah.
the other day, and West Point's
Not
fairly
on
new.
West Point, no.
I seen did they drop the speed limit to 35 on West Point? It used to be 45 back when I lived out there.
I don't know.
I think it is 35.
Yeah, I saw a sign. I thought, well,
Through town right there.
yeah, I think unless it's posted, every city street's 35.
Yeah, there is a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign right there where the annex building is, the courthouse.
Yeah.
There's a 35. I noticed it. I noticed it for the first time
Yeah,
the other day
yeah.
because normally I thought it was 55 through there. So
No, it's not 55.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's a couple of 30. There's a couple of 30 zones in town. Right there next to Bobby River Park is 30, and in front of the
Yeah.
library is 30.
Yeah.
Those are get you spots. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I know I may live my office, rather not me living, but my office. But that may be the loudest corner in the county, because when these guys turn in on the West Point Road, they are headed out, and they raise those trucks and those
Oh, yeah.
old cars.
They're
and
gassing
such.
it up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you're in the acceleration path there.
Yeah.
You're
I mean, they're
within
just,
that.
it's a starting point.
Yeah.
You ever have the trucker, hit one of those Jake brakes by you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
scares
scare the bejeebers out of
Yeah.
you? Oh, my. Anyway. Hey, yeah, and, yeah. I got a text message, and I can't say what he said, so.
Oh,
Well, thanks
now
for
come on! I've been honest all morning.
No.
Why can't you?
Yeah.
Anyway. just be careful out there is all I can say.
Oh, yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, it's all in progress.
Yeah, it is. And we need to, you know,
If we had roads with potholes in them, we'd be complaining about it. So.
you know, if we, if we had, you know, if we had Springer Road done, you want me to bring up Springer Road again?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just kidding. Everybody always brings up how bad Springer Road is, so.
You got to have something to gripe about.
Yeah.
If Springer Road is the worst problem we got in Lawrenceburg, we got it made. You know what?
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You know,
So much junk going on in the world.
Yeah, it is. It is. But hey, let's focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Let's focus on. And speaking of that, let's see. I got another message here that I didn't know I got.
You're just getting all kinds of messages.
But I will say this: I was trying to prepare for talking to Stanley, and I cheated. I got on chat, whatever it is,
GPT.
Chat GPT, and I asked it. I said things to consider when financial planning. And there's a whole big long list.
Oh, there's a ton of it.
There's a whole big long list. First of
I'm
all,
being replaced.
the first thing is goals.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I go back to. You know, people come up and say, "What should I do with this money?" I said, "What do you want to do with this money?
Yeah.
Do you need it now, or do you need it later? Do you don't want it and give it away? You know."
yeah, put me on that list of if somebody's got something to give away.
Yeah.
So I got some guys that
Yeah.
need
So
it.
it depends on what
Yeah.
you want to do with that money. You know, everybody's looking for the best rate of return.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful with that because you got to look, is it taxable or non-taxable? Is it,
Yeah.
if it's non-taxable, is it ever going to be taxed? Is it tax deferred? You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what you want is tax exempt. That's the word, is tax exempt.
How do we get to that?
There's a couple of things you can do with municipal bonds and
Okay.
some plays and
That's
other
interesting.
things.
That's interesting. But one of the things that I thought about when I saw that was how little time that some of us spend actually thinking about our goals. Even just deciding to have goals and then what they are. What are they?
Well, most people are busy living today.
Yeah.
And you know, they've got a job to go to, they got bills to pay. If they retire, they still got bills to pay. They're
Yeah.
concerned about the reason they look for the best rate of return is because they're concerned about running out of money if they need it. Again, we go back to the saying about, we don't know when we're going to pass away. We don't know the day we're going to die.
That's right.
So we may live to be 100, or we may live to be 67. I'm 14 months away from Medicare today, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm counting the months down.
I'm less than 2 months.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's already aligned.
Well, I wanted to go over that real quick too.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Are you back again?
I am. Let me tell you what I have read and done a little research on this. I read that a third of the people 65 and over have mortgages. And I couldn't believe that, and I checked it somewhere else. But I didn't do a deep dive. I suspect some of those were reverse mortgages. Also, I suspect some of them may have signed for their children or whatever, putting somebody, I don't know. But I do know this. I ran into a lady, this was at Martin Methodist College that worked there, and she was going to retire, so this goes back a few years. And she was still working because she said she still had a student loan. My only guess is she must have done that late in life unless she carried it that many years. But I think there's such a variety out there of why people have issues. Plus, they're living longer. I planned on living to about 3 years ago. My mother lived to 100. I've got people in their 90s on both sides. But, I think the rules that we were given back then sounded great, and we've done good, but what if you were to live that long? Just wanted to throw that out.
All right. Thank you. Now,
I have, after 40 years ago, when I first started this, now I didn't talk to a lot of retirees because I was a 21-year-old kid, but I didn't see a lot of debt when people retired. Most people had their debts paid off.
yeah.
But nowadays, you see a lot of that. You do. She's right.
Yeah.
And it could be the mortgages, because historically this is the lowest rates that we've had. So
Right.
if they were able to jump on a 3% rate, then it may be more feasible to not pay it off
Yeah.
and just keep making the payment because you're not making a lot of interest off of it.
Right. Right.
And because if you paid it off, it might wipe out your savings.
Yeah.
Or people have money in a 401k, which if you take the money out to pay off your house, let's say you got a $75,000 balance on your mortgage, and you take that money and say, hey, I got that in my 401k. Well, when you take that $75,000 out, boom, you pay your house off, but it looks like you made that $75,000 that year. And if you've got more income to go on top of it, even Social Security, you could be up in a higher tax bracket. So
Yeah.
it may not be feasible for you to pay your house off.
Yeah.
And it used to not be that way. I agree with her, what she says, is that there's more debt now in retirement than there used to be.
Yeah.
But there's some people that, this lady over at Martin Methodist, I'm sure she would like to retire, but she
Sure.
keeps on working, for
Yeah.
different reasons. And people do that
Yeah.
keep working for different reasons, and debt is one of the reasons.
Yeah. Well, there's so much to consider, and in my little list here, of course, goals, and under that there was, deciding on a retirement age, whether or not to pay off your debt, those kind of things, and there's early in life, your goals may be different than later in life.
Oh yeah. Well, when you're young and you're healthy, you feel like you're invincible and you're going to live to
Yeah.
be 121 years old.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this stuff right now. But
Yeah.
the earlier you can start saving, the more money you're going to have down the road. Again, we go back to compound interest
Yeah.
in time,
Very good.
But nowadays, and this was very disheartening. I was watching a video about these teachers, and this one lady was on there. She said, before the pandemic, I had a lot of people telling me they wanted to be certain things in life, from whether it be the medical field or the business field or law or whatever. But nowadays, these kids are coming up going, I want to win $100,000 on Family Feud. I want to win the lottery.
Me too.
And what's really sad is some of them, I remember this from years ago, was talking to one young lady. I said, what are you going to do when you graduate? She goes, I'm going to get me a check just like my mama did.
Oh my.
And I'm like,
Wow.
So there's not, that's we're an instant gratification society right now.
Well, what gets me are these young folks said, and I don't know how they do it, because if I could figure it out, I'd probably do it myself. But, they got these YouTube channels, and they're just traveling the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't eat like I do and stuff like that, because they'd have to have a job somewhere.
Well, I went to a conference in Nashville one time, and I saw this guy that I've been watching his videos on YouTube, and this was about financial services related. And I said, yeah, man, I said, I like your channel. I said, does that pay off for you? And he goes, yeah, I'm making about $13,000 a month.
Wow.
I said, what?
Yeah, they somehow, some way, and I don't know how. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're making money with these with their followers and
Yeah.
and on the YouTube channels and all that.
All you got to do is find something silly that's interesting for people to watch, even briefly.
That's what the number one guy does. And he's making $1 million a
Yeah.
year. And he's like 26 years old. He started this when he was like 17.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy that does these shorts, and they make a ton of money off of it. But basically, I guess him and his wife sat down in a room one day and said, "Hey, let's argue with each other, and you throw stuff at me." All right, and that's what she does. He'll say stuff, and then she'll start throwing stuff at him. He'll duck it and everything. Well, he's got thousands of followers just by ridiculing his wife a little bit and then throwing it, and they're raking in the money. And in the background, they love each other and live with each other. So,
Well, there you go. And we're entertained by that for some reason.
yeah. And dogs and cats. I told Amy, we got a big new dog. I said, Amy, get your own YouTube channel, because there's probably going to be 3 or 4 million people in America that likes our dog.
Yeah.
So that's a good following to have.
Well, see,
You got to
you're sitting on a gold mine. Didn't
sit
know
on
it.
a gold mine. Didn't even know it. Goodness.
Well, I mean, it takes, you got to, that's what I watch these things, and I watch the quality of them.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the guys that have went in there and edited it and put the camera in a strategic place,
Yeah.
you know, and so there's a little time involved with that.
Oh, yeah,
so.
there is. Now,
Yeah.
do y'all remember Catfish Cooley? He was one of the first ones to ever go viral on doing things on the internet. And basically, he just smelled things and threw up. He's like, whoa, and just starts throwing up.
gosh.
You remember that guy? So basically, I mean,
Well, there's a couple of guys that they have a huge following. They sit at the table and they eat stuff that makes them
yeah, it makes him sick.
sick or gag or whatever. They eat disgusting stuff, and that's their videos. I mean, and they pop up every so often, and they'll eat something ridiculous, you know, or whatever. And
Yeah, Catfish Cooley's deal was eating hot peppers and drinking Fireball, and then he would just instantly throw up.
I bet he
And
would.
he would throw up smelling like pig's feet. If he smelled pig's feet, he'd throw up.
Oh.
So you got to watch that guy. He's pretty funny.
Well, I call my show about health, wealth, and community, and I've got to get somebody in here to talk about health. 'Cause
There you go. Well, I'm out of
well,
that.
you can talk to us about being healthy.
okay, yeah,
We can
y'all
tell
are
you what not
specimens
to
of
do.
health, aren't you?
We can
Yeah.
tell you what not to do.
Exactly.
Well, there's this craze going on where you eat sardines for like 5 days. I don't know if I could eat sardines for
I don't think I could
1
eat
minute.
them once.
You know,
I've never
there's
had-
always a trick to lose weight pretty quick, but keeping it off is the deal. And it always requires exercise more. And just stop being lazy, and that's what I can't quit doing.
I know it takes you. You have to make an appointment to go exercise.
Yeah.
You know, you have to say, okay, I'm going to do it, and go do it. And well, they were showing, going back to YouTube, people in the 50s and 60s versus today, of how much our food supplies and food chain has changed so much.
Yeah.
We've got processed food. We're in an instant environment now.
Yeah.
You know, we got instant potatoes or instant whatever. Or now you can go and buy a whole meal out of the freezer and throw it in the oven and it'll be ready in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
But it's all processed.
processed food.
You know,
yeah.
I remember my mother going in the kitchen about, a couple of hours before and start preparing for supper. And it'd take her 2 hours to get things done. And my dad would come home from work and we'd all sit at the table and
Yeah.
eat our meat and vegetables that were out of the garden.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think my wife and I are not unlike a lot of folks. We walk in the door almost the same time every afternoon, a little bit after 5, and my wife used to never eat past 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So and it's tough to get something prepared, and when you get home at 5 and have something prepared to eat before 6, it's tough.
Yeah.
So we.
If you like most of us, anyway, we don't even do a lot of preparing. Now Teresa does. I should say
Yeah.
that because she's home, and she prepares meals quite often.
Well,
But when we do, we enjoy it though.
Well, that's fast food. Okay,
Yeah.
that was kind of like a luxury.
That was
You didn't
growing
go.
up.
You didn't go every day.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
know, you went. Maybe I remember mom and dad would go to church on Sunday nights, and we'd go down to the Crystal and have us some hamburger. My dad loved those little Crystal
Yeah,
hamburgers.
me too.
That was what his thing was on Sunday nights. Because my mother had already cooked a big meal for Sunday.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, we sort of on Sunday afternoons. Usually on Sunday morning, I'll cook breakfast, and we'll have a nice Sunday breakfast at the house. But Sunday after church, 90% of the time, if it's chili dogs. So if you come to our house on Sunday after church, we're having chili dogs most of the time. So and we
Well,
like chili
I
dogs.
happen to like chili dogs.
Yeah, and we do too.
So
Well,
what
you-
time?
you
What time?
invite the
What time will they be ready?
yeah, I mean nobody. But nobody wants to come eat chili dogs.
I will.
You will.
Yeah, I'll come.
So we were cooking chili dogs last Sunday, and Amy says, "Come outside." So I come outside, and the grill was just this heavy smoke blowing out of it, black smoke. The grill was on fire, and you know what? And come to think about it, I don't think we took anything off the grill. I put it out and closed the lid and backed away from it. So I think whatever food was on there is still on there. Just thought about that.
this is Wednesday.
You'll need
right?
to
It
burn.
is
You'll need
Wednesday.
to burn that off
No,
before
hang
Sunday.
on, Stanley. I take that back. This was week before. This been out there a week.
Quick question on your chili dogs.
Yes.
Does your chili have beans or no beans?
No beans. It's the Vietti no bean
Attaboy.
chili.
Attaboy.
And it comes out of the can sort of like the cranberry sauce does. You know, it holds the form of the can till you heat it up.
And what kind of hot dogs you use?
Different kinds. Now, me personally, I like Nathan's all beef hot dogs.
Yeah, the all beef.
Yeah, but Ballpark is our go-to. But I like the ones with cheese in it, and I don't understand this because our whole family likes cheese, but they don't like the hot dogs with cheese in them. But I do. And do you split your hot dogs?
Sometimes.
So I put a little. I score the skin of it just a little bit, so when it cooks, it busts open a little bit.
Yeah,
that's why I like it.
It depends on how I'm going to cook them. If I cook them in a skillet, I split them completely and lay them flat.
Oh, okay. Do you ever boil them?
No.
We do sometimes. Like after the grill mishap, we had to boil some hot dogs, and they were okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that.
And we like fried bologna
I like
too.
a hot dog almost burnt.
Yeah, me too. I like it black.
Like it dark burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So if you tuned in just now and we're worried about finances, we're not talking finances. We're talking hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
No, we are really. I mean, you can eat a hot dog at the house way cheaper than you take your family out to eat.
You can.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, he mentioned fast food. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention the fast food place, but let me just say that it's world famous.
Okay. Well, that narrows it down a little bit.
So took 4 of us through the drive-through,
Yeah.
and we got a sandwich meal. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Each.
$50.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. So I took my son last
I'm
night.
like,
He
what?
wants to go. He wants to go through a drive-through, and so at the same time, I ordered a small ice cream treat. All right, and so I got to the window, and the price is where I thought it should be, and she didn't give me my ice cream treat. Well, I looked at it, and there was no ice cream treat on the receipt. It was just his stuff. I'm like, good gravy. That was expensive without the ice cream. It was over $10 just for one person.
Yeah,
So.
I got you.
And then what about this? I've seen online where this tipping deal's coming back. So now I went to a place and 20% is not even on the selection anymore. It's 22% now is the lowest selection. You know, I like how it says, "Oh, this screen's gonna." They say this screen's gonna ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
You know, instead of, "Hey, do you want to leave a tip?" The screen's gonna ask you a couple questions. You guys ever run into that?
Yes.
And I'm the type of guy I'm gonna tip. You know, I want to tip something.
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
not a cheapskate.
I do too, but it's still kind of presumptuous.
It is. It
Is
is.
the way to put it.
And you can put no tip, and then you're thinking, well, are they spitting in my food now? Or what? You know?
Well, it used to be 15%. It
Used to be 10%.
Yeah, 10%. Yeah, and then it went to
be
15.
10% was
But
good.
Stanley's always been generous, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
cheapskates.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, y'all just wanted that easy math. That's what it was.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
exactly. Exactly.
yeah, don't mess us up with 15%.
And I like the ones that already have the tip calculated out of what it should be, and they don't bring you change back. They bring you tens and fives and 20s, so you can't leave them singles. So.
Yeah, when you're using your card and it actually shows you what the percentage dollar amount is and adds it up for you.
Yeah.
You know, that makes it easier.
Well, the way I've started saving some money at restaurants is just drinking water.
Yeah.
Because tea and Cokes.
$3.49.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, except for the fact that I'm really picky about my water.
I am too. And sometimes it tastes like toilet water.
Yeah, you can get a drink of water sometimes at a restaurant and it's like, it is awful.
Yeah, I agree. And I can tell you the restaurants here in town.
I mean, and it's not necessarily their fault. I mean, it's just, I have well water at
Yeah.
home. And it's very, very good water. And
We got
and I can turn
City
on.
of
Listen,
Lawrenceburg has good drinking water.
they do have good drinking water, but
Yeah.
but when you're used to having just straight
Yeah.
water out of a well or a spring,
Yeah,
it's-
everything tastes good.
When I turn it on here at the kitchen in this studio, I can actually smell the chlorine because I'm not used to
Yeah.
being that way. I can smell it, and it's like I don't want it.
We've got some of the best tasting water because of all the limestone deposits we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But the worst tasting water is on the
Gulf
excuse me,
Coast.
Is down in Mississippi.
You better believe it.
Yes.
That sulfur water.
Yeah.
Man, you take a glass and put it up to your face, and first thing you smell is the water, and you go, water shouldn't smell.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's brown. So I lived in Long Beach for a little while, and then moved over to Pass Christian. But I remember the first time I went to visit, I was moving from Washington D.C. down there, and I went to visit. And there was a sign on the hotel thing. It says, because I thought, well, somebody's used this toilet and didn't flush. And there was actually a sign in the hotel room. It says, our water has a natural brown tint to it. It's safe to drink and brush your teeth. And I thought, what?
Yeah.
And it was nasty.
It was.
Well, I ain't doing it.
You had to
I
buy
don't
a
think
bottle of
so.
water and bring it in then.
Oh my God! Yeah, just get some bottled water.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got off on that, Stan.
What was that? That was
I don't know what that was.
What in the world was
that
that?
sounded like a Kevin Wildcat.
Was that Kevin?
It may have been.
Kevin, he's screaming back there.
I thought
If
somebody
not, it was Friday the 13th.
It wasn't.
in real
If
life.
it wasn't, if it
I'll
wasn't
watch you
Kevin,
back for you, Stanley.
if it wasn't Kevin, then I'm actually scared. So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna start sitting over there in the end now.
Oh my God!
I wonder if the listeners heard that. That was horrible.
I don't know if they did or not, but we heard it. Oh my goodness! All right. Well, listen, we're winding down. I can't believe this hour's gone by so fast.
Yeah, we've got Keith in the house, and it makes the time go by.
Keith Durham, you got a big day planned?
I do have a big day planned. I've got architects on the line right now. So my focus for until it happens is, I got a brand new store going up down in Muscle Shoals right now.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much taken care of. I had to go visit every once in a while, but my focus is going to be this store we're building in Columbia until we get the permit. So I've got to.
The redoing the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all get that fixed where you don't have to turn it around
This
yet?
is year 4, so
Year 4.
we're working on it.
Wow.
How's Murray County doing up there?
Oh, I don't know.
They said they got some of the highest unemployment rates in Tennessee.
I wouldn't doubt that because, they had all those people move in to go to work at that battery plant, and I don't know if they're working anybody up there.
Well, I think they're retooling it to do something else.
Well, that'd be
Hopefully they
good.
are.
I hope they do.
Well, they've spent a lot of money on that plant to not use it.
Yeah.
To not use it.
That's probably the biggest building without windows.
You're right. They don't have any windows, do it?
No, it's huge.
It looks like they would made that solar powered, too. I wonder if it uses as much power as a data center.
Oh my gosh! Don't say the D word.
That's one time I wish I was mayor, is during all those data center debates.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause,
Well, you know about data centers. You know about
I
them.
mean, I went out to the summit the other day and sat and spoke with Jim Cohn, and Jim's like, I don't understand. He said, I've been in data centers my whole life, and I don't understand the hoopla about it. And I'm the same way. I've been in in and out of data centers my whole life. I don't know what the hoopla is. But I do know this: if you're against data centers and you're carrying a cell phone or you have an email account like a Gmail or Hotmail or iCloud, then you are hypocritical because you depend on that. Now, if you want to come and have a conversation with me about getting rid of a data center, that's why if I was mayor and you want to have a conversation, I wouldn't even take what you're saying seriously until you smashed your phone right in front of my face and swore you'd never use it again. So
There would be some people that would like to do that probably, but whether they like it or not, data centers are used for everything we do.
Well, I mean, it's almost like you throwing a fit, and people do sometimes. They throw a fit because the highway comes through town, but there's a need for it,
Yeah.
And and I'm not saying all data centers are the same. There may be some data centers that suck the water out of the ground and do these kind of things, and I'm sure that's where some of the data comes from is that justifies that. But it's just like all people aren't the same, all roads aren't the same, all data centers aren't the same.
Well, I'm going to steer us back in the road,
Yeah,
Stanley.
steer us back in the road.
Harvest Financial. This is that hour,
Yep.
and Stanley Wilson's here. And of course, Stanley you've been doing financial planning for how many years?
I've been in it since 1983.
1983. And so you've seen a thing or two.
What was you doing in 1983?
83, I was a sophomore in high school. Maybe, yeah.
83, I'd been married about 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think you guys were that old. I
I'm
thought
not.
Stanley
I'm not.
I thought you might have graduated in 88 or
I
something.
married when I was 12, so
Jeff looks good for 80, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You look good, Jeff.
For 80.
Well, listen, Stanley, if people want to talk to you seriously
Yeah, call
about their
me at,
finances,
931
how are we going to get a hold of you?
931-242-4495.
242 what?
4495.
4495.
4495. That's the
And
best
next-
way to reach
yeah.
you right now.
Next week we'll do a little more word depth on so Medicare and what Medicare doesn't pay.
Ooh.
A lot of people think, oh, that's all I need is I need Medicare. But we'll talk about what Medicare doesn't pay.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
And then next week, there's the big event next week in Lawrenceburg.
What is that?
Aldi's is opening.
Aldi's is opening. Well, listen, I wondered if y'all were going to go to Bonnaroo this weekend.
Staying away from it.
My ex-father-in-law was Chief Dorning, sheriff.
Yes.
When Bonnaroo first started up. Well, I don't know why, but there was a lot of people from California coming on the Highway 64 coming this way. So he sent his deputies out there, and they made a lot of stops. And the next thing you know, all the ATMs close to the jail is empty of cash because they had to bond out a lot of people. They had to go to the ATMs and get cash. There was a lot of stops for the folks coming from California going to Bonnaroo.
Oh.
And in other places.
And they
too,
brought
not
their
just
paraphernalia
California.
with them, I guess.
Yeah, they brought their party supplies.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And we've got a store right in Manchester, right at it, pretty close
Yeah.
to the front gate.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. They buy everything in the store. I mean, everything. It's gone. So,
Really?
yeah. It's
That's what we needed to do.
They just
is
wipe
get
it out.
Yeah.
Get a vending for one. We could work 1 week and make all of our money for the whole
Yeah,
year.
just pull up with an ice truck.
Yeah.
Ice truck and tater chips. And then, they were pretty resourceful the first couple years because there was long lines of traffic. They didn't know how to deal with the traffic.
Yeah.
Well, people would come into Quick Mart, buy a gallon of milk, dump it on the ground, fill it full of gas, and walk down the interstate selling.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
serious?
unbelievable. Because people sit on the interstate long enough, they ran out of gas.
Wow. You just never know what you may find out
Yeah.
here on the Harvest Hour, Harvest Financial
Yeah,
Hour. That's
that's it.
amazing. Well, we're going to do it again next week, and tomorrow is Quick Mart Hour. You going to be here for that?
Yeah, if I don't put deodorant in my hair, I will be here.
Stanley Wilson, everybody. That phone number again, 242-4495 to reach him for your financial planning needs. And I know he'd be glad to hear from you and take care of you. But we're going to have to get out of here and join programming already in progress. See you next time.
Thank y'all.
See you next time.
This time I will be from here to there, eternally with rapture. I anticipate my move.